Hey, I'm Mindy Kinnis. This is the Daily Rage. Happy Friday to you all. The indexes just got destroyed today. I mean, look at this, down 500 on the NASDAQ right now. That's a lot for the NAS. You can see that the ATR is only just above 300. So that's a fairly significant day. So let's get our targets in their proper places. Here's what is significant. This is the micro Dow, by the way, futures contract. We are looking at a situation here where, because of this huge post-election rally day, there really isn't a ton of support in between where we're at and potentially where we're going. So you could use these, the turning line or the standard line, as intermediate targets, which I recommend you do because sometimes it can come down and then just bounce off of those. But if it breaks those, then like we got nothing all the way down essentially till the cloud. So it will be very interesting to see what happens next week. So let's do this. For now, let's move this. We'll just go with that turning line or target one. These can flip-flop because clearly it's a little ambitious at this point. This will now be target one to the high side, but again, that's only if it gets itself turned around. Let's say it does come down, hit that turning line, and then bounce. Cool. Then we're going to focus on up here. But without that, let me just get this one in the right place. There we go. But without that happening, we could be heading down toward around 42,400-ish. This one is the micro S&P. And, same story. This one is at that turning line. So again, that will be very interesting to see what happens. So this is going to be target one. We'll make target two this little shelf situation back here. That's a really strong support area. We'll bring these back down. Got a little ambitious last week, but here we are coming back to reality. That looks pretty good. Let's look at this NASDAQ. Whew. Okay. So we did flip the parabolic SAR, indicating further downward direction. We totally busted through the turning line and the standard line. And okay, so that's going to be our next target. Let me get the lines down there so you can see that. So target one, 20,320-ish. And then target two will be down here. Very similar pattern like we just saw. As for the high side, again, we're looking low at this point. I'm just going to use today's high because this is such a nasty, such a nasty day, which of course delights me in terms of trading, that is. M2K, the baby Russell, we are also past turning line, standard line, and headed down toward 2271. So we'll see what happens as we head into next week. This one isn't quite as nice of a shelf, so we'll just kind of use stepping stones down. As for the high side, let's go here. Let's bump this up slightly. And then if you wanted a third one, it could be up at that high right there. Moving on to the crypto that has had just a lovely time this past week. So let's do this. Obviously, we took out these highs. Congrats. I mean, we gapped up to do that. Amazing. So let's go for target one here, basically back to that high from 2 days ago. And then we're looking around 4,500. Let's just go for 100,000 because why not? I mean, okay, we're going to go 99990. All right. For the short side, we'll go here. Just grab that kind of, again, that shelf situation. And then here, top of the gap, which is pretty darn close to that turning line. So that would be a nice target. Again, only if it gets itself turned around and heading downward. ETH has not had such a spectacular day, although it did have a nice gap up as well. We almost, let's see, ooh, we're so close to closing that gap today. Didn't quite happen as it recovered and has a little bit of a body in that candle today, but looks like we did. What was the low? 3027. Cool. So we did. I love when this happens. You could have made money either way. So obviously we gapped up, we hit, we took out target one here from last week and then took out target two. Yay. Then, as we often have talked about, support can turn into resistance and resistance can turn into support. So actually, you could have used these same lines and check out what happened. Bam. What was our resistance line before last week is now our support line. We came down, touched it. I mean, we would have that would have gotten filled based on 3027 as a low. So you could have made money to the short side as well. And then it recovered from that point forward. So that is pretty awesome. On a day like today, I am just going to fence it in fairly closely because of that teensy tiny body. In other words, we don't know which way it's going to go going forward. Now, if I had to guess with everything going on in the crypto world, I would maybe make the assumption that it might go higher, but we never know. So you always want to just look at the charts and make sure that your assumptions are being confirmed or not. Go right about there for target 2. Interest rates still continue lower. This is the 10-year note. And while I'm not going to talk a lot about that, all you need to know from this chart is that the micro yields, if this is going lower, the micro yields will go higher. They're always in opposition. And then these little micros, this is the micro ultra 10-year. And I mean, I don't know about you, but that it gets really janky up in here with a lot of wicks on those candles. I never like those kind of situations. That's just choppy mess. So I would say skip it. Moving on to gold. Gold had a rough week. Got way down below the cloud yesterday. Let's bring these things way down. We obviously took out those short targets, so congrats to you. Next one up, 25.41 and then 25.28. We are back in the cloud though, so some of you I know more conservatively would like to wait until it goes back out of the cloud, which is not a bad idea by any stretch of the imagination. This will be target 1 to the high side, and let's go for here, target 2. Now, again, all of that mess is still within the daily cloud. Some people don't like to even play when it's in there, so that is totally fine. You do you. All right, this one is silver, and as always, these things will work on the micros or on their bigger aspects, the regular size contracts. So let's do this. And this kind of tighten that up also in the cloud situation. So again, trade based on where you're at, your comfort zone, your personality. What do we have here? This is copper. So it had a rough week. Let's see what's lower than this. Alrighty. And that actually I was just placing the line there, but that actually works out great for this support back in here from earlier this year. As for the high side, we need to bring these guys way down. Let me open this back up so it's easier to see what we're looking at. Let's go there. Perfect. And we'll wrap it up with a little micro crude or regular crude, and yuck. Rough, rough, rough. We did find support there though, because look, I mean, from back in here where it kind of bounced up off that area, from here, from 2 days ago, bounced off that area, and then just ended up back around where we started. So let's go down to this next level here for your short targets. This would be target 2 to the short side. As for the high side, that's a pretty nice little spike right there, a little fractal. And let's go there. Of course, you could use an intermediate one with this turning line as well. That'll do it for me. Have an amazing weekend. I'm Mindy Kinnis. Thanks so much for watching.